Welcome back to my channel where I talk about art, the journey of art, and try and connect it with the evolution of the human mind, the cognitive functions, how they correlate with the art that was discovered in the various phases of our existence. Today, I would like to travel to a site which I believe changed the entire trajectory of the art world. We go to what is known as Bulgaria today, to a site known as the Varna Necropolis or the Varna Cemetery. Why is this site unique? Why do I say it changed the trajectory of the art world? This site was discovered in somewhere in 1972 and is dated between 4,700 to 4,200 years ago. Um, why is this site unique? They discovered the largest, it's called the graveyard, the Varna Cemetery. So the largest graveyard, 300 graves were unearthed in this site. But what was so unique about these graves? Um, if you look at it, most of the people that were buried in these graves were surrounded gold, with gold artifacts. And this was the first ever site where I think the largest treasure trove of gold was unearthed in the form of art in in the art world, in the discovery of art. So why do I say this changed the trajectory? There are different points of view from my points of view, I would say. Um, Out of all of the graves, one grave was unique, grave number 43. If you look at it, this person who was buried, the bone structure was solid, strong. The age, when the age was checked, this person could not have been more than 40 years old. So, a person around that age who is buried with the largest amount of gold, somewhere around 1.5 kilograms of gold, were around him. And this gold was laid on him in a systematic pattern. There had to be a reason for it. What could have been the reason? There were no scepters, there were no signs of royalty of the skeleton, but just artifacts of gold. Could he have been the wise man of the tribe? Could he have been a respected elderly person, or could he have been someone who had knowledge between the different realms of the human species, and he was respected for that? Therefore, he had the maximum amount of, let's say, gifts to offer in the afterworld. It could be anything. We don't know, because there's no proof, there's no evidence that he was royalty, that he was or, or any such status. He had there's no proof that he was, there's no clue, there's no proof that he was a person of status, royalty. Uh, so it could be any of these reasons. It could be from the spiritual point of view, to offer, something to take with him in the afterlife, or to help him go to a better place in the afterlife. It could be anything. Why do I say the trajectory? One aspect of the trajectory was that the art became gold, or rather, gold became art, and this gold, this um art in the form of gold, became a reflection of this of us as a species, of the human species, or of the individuals in that community at that time. What do I mean by that? They were reflecting to the society of the people who were in the community, and maybe also with the intention of to express to the communities that come later on that I am somebody, that they were somebody, and they want to go being known as somebody of a particular status or particular whatever symbol in the community or something like that, whatever it is, their persona, their identity was buried with them, is what I'm trying to say. Also, this gold gave rise, I would say the trajectory started with art as gold, gold as art, and this gold changed the trajectory not in a straight line, it diverted into different streams. So there's one particular element of gold gave rise to many different avenues that evolved our species to what we are today. What do I mean by that? The gold gave rise to trade. Trade gave rise to interaction between societies and communities and far off places, which in turn, probably the communities built ports to receive this kind of gold, this amount of gold, this quantity of gold, the art that was created by the gold because of the gold. And these ports gave rise to cities. Cities gave rise to systems and administration, which in turn gave rise to um, higher higher empires. I would say in that era, empires were born, leaders were born, giving rise to other human elements such as power and the need to conquer, the need to make a stamp, and many other things which I will talk later on. But this site, which I feel was on the fence of the old world and the new world. Why do I say that? Because Varna Necropolis, other than planting the seed of gold, which later on became empires and cities and what we are today, also was connected to the old, where in my previous chapters I've spoken about art being spiritual and sites that were uncovered like Gobekli Tepe and so many other Lepinski, where I thought where I connected art and spirituality amongst the communities. Similarly, at Varna, the burials were also ritualistic, I would like to believe, because I like I said previously, the bodies that were buried had this gold. Um, some individuals, some graves had different amounts of gold. At the same time, there were some graves that had nothing. So it could be the rise of um, a class, kind of a class, where hierarchy maybe, where the ones who had the wealth or the best artifact said that, yeah, we are of this certain caliber, and the others were little lower. So that could be one part, one aspect of the old world, which was at the brink of moving on to the new world. This hierarchy was not so predominant previously. It may have existed, but here the proof found in the graveyards symbolizes this hierarchy. At the same time, it could be spiritual also, because I would like to offer more gold if I want to go to a better place. Also, I mean, I'm not saying me, but whoever was in that time may have thought, I have so much gold, I'm securing my place in the afterworld, so bury me with everything that I have. It could be that. So that's how I connected with spirituality. And to me, site this site made me think a lot because of the dualities of what was, what became after. And it is gold, it is but also art. And I would once again like to believe that art played a major role in where we are today, what we are today. Maybe this site, I don't know if this was the origin of this the origin of this structure of the human society, but it definitely was one of the earliest sites. that played a key role in the art world. I found that very interesting and I wanted to share that information today. If you like this kind of content, if you found this interesting, do give it a like, share this video with someone who also likes this kind of content. And let's stay connected on this journey of art and let's see where we go in the next chapter. Thank you for staying tuned with me today.